Hello, this is a total surprise. I was just up here doing some stuff and I was like, oh, I have a half an hour. This is what I've always dreamed of. I just have a little extra time. I've been meaning to get to something. I'm just gonna turn on the live streaming and be here. The live stream, the main live stream for this week, not to mention the one I did yesterday, will be this coming Friday. And so today, I don't know how much this is going to interest those of you who might actually be tuning in right now, but I have a little gap in my intro videos. Let me see if I can find those. Let me turn off the sound here for a sec and go to here and go to here. So I need to figure this. So this year I remade. I really need to I want to remake what I remade. I remade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No one's telling me that I muted my microphone by accident today. That's good. All the way up to 1.6 were remade. So these I made this fall, and then I don't have time to just continuously remake all these tutorials, and they still apply. But at some point here, I create, and let me look through this video. At some point I make a class, maybe in a separate JavaScript file. Let's see. I'm not signed in with my YouTube Premium. I need to sign in with my YouTube Premium. So here already, okay, no, I don't have a separate bubble.js file, so I haven't shown how to do that. Do I at some point? Anybody watch these recently? No. What about at the end of the video? No. Look at that. Okay, so that's where this would go. So right now I'm going to make a quick video that will be 6.4. I mean, it's going to be just like a couple minutes long. So I need to grab that code. So I think now if I go to Coding Train website and go to code, tutorials, P5JS 6, 6.3, here we go. And I bring this into here. Oh, this is great. Oh, how lovely. So let me move this over to here. Let me move this over to here. All right, so here we go. I'm ready for this right now. Oh, hello there. It is me from the future entering into your playlist of Intro to Programming with P5JS. In the previous video that you were watching about object-oriented programming, I was using a text editor known as the Atom text editor. The P5 web editor didn't exist yet. Now, if you started this whole playlist from the very beginning, you'll notice that I started with the P5 web editor because I made the intro videos just like a month ago, and then the other videos about object were last year, and some of them were 2 years ago. The narrative follows, but the videos are all made at different times. So I'm stepping in here for a moment just to show you a bit about working with objects and classes in the P5 web editor. And one of the things that you'll want to do probably, so this is the example from the previous video, 6.3. So I'm making 6.4 right now. And what I want to show you here is what if, I'm going to eventually make a much more complex sketch, and it's going to have, bubbles and rainbows and unicorns and cupcakes and puppies and turtles, right? So I'm going to have class turtle and class puppy and class unicorn. This one sketch.js file could get quite long and quite large. So one of the things I could do is I can actually make a separate JavaScript file. I can call it anything I want. I'm going to call it bubble.js, and I can put the bubble class in that file and allow me to sort of know that when I want to make changes to the bubble, I go to the bubble file. When I want to make changes to setup and draw, I go to sketch.js. When I want to make changes to the turtle, I go to turtle.js. So that's what I want to show you. It's not really necessary for this, but it'll help you sort of scale up as you move forward. Now, you can actually, this isn't just only for putting classes in separate JavaScript files. It's just a good time for me to show you that you can have multiple JavaScript files for one sketch in the web editor. All right, so this is where you want to look. And I should also reference to you, Cassie Terakajian, the creator of the P5 web editor, made a nice 20-minute video about all of the features, which I will also reference, which goes through a lot of different pieces of the web editor. I'm just kind of highlighting this one thing. So I want to go over here and click this. And you can see now I have the project folder. And look, all of the secrets are revealed. All this time, you've just been working with sketch.js. That's your JavaScript code. But the sketch.js code is only executed because it is referenced inside of this other file, this hidden file, index.html. This is actually just a plain old HTML file. Maybe you don't know about HTML, maybe you do. In my next playlist about like P5, the P5 DOM library, we get into what that HTML file is a bit more. But if I look at it, we can see that, look at this. There's this reference, script. There's a script. Its source is the file sketch.js. If I want to have a new JavaScript file, I'm going to need to edit this file, and I'm going to need to make a reference to button.js. So I need to make a reference, not button, bubble, whatever. I was doing an example earlier that was button. Bubble. So once I've added that, I can then go here and back to this little arrow right here. I can click this, and I can say add file. Are you seeing that? And then I can zoom back out, and I'm going to name this bubble.js. And you can see it appeared right there. I'm going to click on it. It's empty. I'm going to close this. I'm going to go to sketch.js. I'm going to grab my bubble class, all of this code. And I'm going to go over here. I'm going to paste it in here. I'm going to hit save. And now I'm going to run it again. It's the same exact thing. Nothing has changed. The difference is my code for setup and draw is just right here, and my code for the bubble class is now in a separate file. So when it's time for me to think like, you know what, I want the bubble to move faster, then I can just do this and change these numbers here. I'm going to put on auto refresh so that it updates automatically whenever I make these changes. So you can see, it's going faster, then it's like slower, but mostly to the right. And then I want to change the, the color a little bit to, So I'm changing things. But now if I want to change stuff with the sketch, I want to change where the bubble starts, then I'm going to change this here. So you can see I have now just sort of organized my code. So what I would suggest to you is duplicate this sketch. I will put a link to the editor, the URL for it. Duplicate this sketch into your own account. Try to add another class and another JavaScript file, or maybe just add another JavaScript file and put the mouse pressed function in that. Reorganize your code with multiple files. Don't forget to go in and reference them in index.html. Hold on, you can set which modifier key in the settings I mentioned. Oh, people are talking about something unrelated in the live chat going on. Okay, goodbye. See you later. Okay, there, that was fast. Oh, I know what I went to mention. Hold on, let me, Mathieu, I know it was like a perfect no edit video that I'm gonna have to adjust. Cut out that thing about me looking at the chat. And I'll just say, okay, so you've wrapped up this section on making classes and objects in JavaScript. If you want a little exercise here, what I might suggest is duplicate this sketch. The URL to it will be in the video's description. See if you can add yet another JavaScript file. Maybe put the mouse pressed function in it, or maybe add some other sort of object, the turtle that I keep referencing, this little turtle that moves across the screen. Can you have a separate class? Give that a try. I will also note, and I'm going to do this in a separate video that's going to come in the next, it's actually going to, it will appear around objects and images, or somewhere. I got to look where it should go, but I'm going to do another video where I show you how to add media assets to the project, which you can load. So thanks for watching this, and I will see you soon. Goodbye. Okay, So that was good. A little quick, I wasn't kidding when I said quick videos. So now let me see here. I guess, in this playlist, let's look at what happens in this one. I have YouTube Premium, specifically so that ads don't show, but okay, so this is, and I still didn't make a separate, okay. So I wonder what I'm saying here. I have to listen to myself for a second. Setup is the function where all the code at the beginning runs. Well, I want to load images at the beginning to use. I should use those in setup. But there's a funny way about JavaScript. Where am I showing the images? Okay. Okay, so I have a directory of images associated with this project. I'm going to go over to my code, and it looks like this. It has one image called flower.png. So there's a couple ideas. One is I could leave this video as is and just make a separate video that comes before to show, like, in the next video I'm going to use these kittens and flowers, but I'm going to show you how to get them in the web editor. That's probably what I should do. I could also unlist, I'm never going to delete a video, but unlist this video, and I have Mathieu edit in, like right here, like, stop, I'm going to show you how to get these things in the web editor, and then have it go on. Probably the safer thing is to do a separate video. So I think I'm going to do a video here. So let me go back. And the other thing I need to do is then get in section 7 here, this one. So I need all these images. I think I have this code somewhere. Desktop maybe? Desktop, website, yes. Tutorials, P5JS. By the way, if anybody wants a project, helping me think through how to organize all this stuff would be amazing. 8, 7. Actually, one thing I want to do is, now that the web editor exists, just basically everything I ever do on my channel, I want to have a web editor version that you can just click on in the video's description. So that I would love help with. But that's not what I'm doing right now. I am going for here, object, images, kittens. So let's just move this to the, oh no, not move it. Let's paste it on the desktop. Just minimize this for a second, move it over here, and move it here. How do I get a nice, yeah, there we go. No, I want this. Yay, there we go. I'm like obsessively, okay, kittens and kittens and kittens. Fine. There we go. Now the web editor. And this goes here. This can be here. And Raziel asks, beard inferior to the one in the video. True. Okay, so now this one is going to come right here. All right. So this is going to be like a prequel to 7.8. I don't know whether we should renumber them or what, but we'll figure that out later. I'm going to cycle the camera. Hello again, it's me from the future, inserting myself into your playlist of videos. I am making a video to go right here in between 7.7 and 7.8. I don't know how you ended up here, but that's the intended point of watching between these two in this tutorial series. So what I'm going to show you, but you could also just be here because you want to know how to add images to the P5 web editor. So this is in a series about object-oriented programming, and in 7.8, this next video, I look at how to use an image in an object and then have multiple objects, each showing a different image. All sorts of fun. So, but in both of these videos, I'm using the Atom text editor and just opening up my JavaScript P5 sketch in the Chrome browser directly. And now I want to show you how to do this. Oh, and here in the P5 web editor. So I'm going to create a new sketch. Hold on, let me just save this and create a new sketch. I'm going to hit OK because that's something else going on. And OK, so what I want to do is just look at let's say I've made this beautiful sketch. It is this beautiful rectangle. It is this lovely shade of gray. But what I really want is a kitten to appear there. Oh, I just so happen to have this nice directory of little tiny kitten images. I like this one. And what I want to do is load this kitten JPEG into my sketch. So code-wise, there are two functions that I need to know about. One is a function called loadImage, and another is a function called image. So I might as well talk about those too while I'm here, although I think I'll probably talk about those in the next video as well. But more importantly, the purpose of this video is how do I actually get this image into this sketch? So once again, this is time for me to go over here and pull back the curtain of the P5 web editor. I've done this before when I made a second JavaScript file. We can see that there's also an HTML file and a style.css file. What goes on in these files are things that I get into in a future playlist about the P5 DOM library. But right here, what I want to do is I want to go here and I want to say add file. This is exactly what I did when I made a new like bubble.js file, add file, but here instead I can say, oh, you know what? I have a feeling, by the way, this is the high contrast. Hopefully this will be irrelevant that I'm saying this soon. This is the high contrast theme. This doesn't look like it passes the, hold on, pause for a second. We're going to file a bug report here. Color contrast checker. We're going to, can I download this, or can I just use it here? Oh, I can use it here. So somebody help me out here. There's a way to there's a tool there's an app that you can download. Let me see. Color Contrast Analyzer, Mac OS. Yeah, let me grab this one. Let's see if this works. Sorry for this digression, but this is super important. Let me run this. Okay, do this. No, come on, people. What is it? Control, Option, I can never remember. Command, no. Option, no. I forget, there's a way to do Control, it's probably Control. Privacy, no, wait. Privacy, security, privacy. General, yes, open anyway, thank you very much. Okay, now let's check this. The foreground color is, there's a way, I feel like there's a way that I can actually just, there's a way to have this grab the color from here. How do I do that? Color Analyzer, edit, there's a color picker here. I guess I could just look at the CSS. Whoops. I'm determined to use this in a way that I saw a demo of this recently, and it was amazing. But I don't remember how. Do I have to take like a, does anybody know how to do this? Let's see. Hold on, I went off the rails here. But I'm a stubborn person. Oh wait, can I use this? Ah, there we go. That's what I want to look at. Okay, I figured it out. Okay, so I want to pick this color. I'm going to pick the darkest, and the background color is white. Yeah, look at this. This fails the high contrast. So close this. Let me take a screenshot of it. Let's go to P5.js web editor. Here we go. Issues. Now, could there be one already? What should I search for? Like high contrast? I'll just search for contrast. Let me see. Ability to run multiple tabs so you can move functional code. No, that's a different thing. All right, so this is something else. Okay. I'm going to erase this because I'm confident in, well, I'm going to say, new file, drop zone, low contrast in high contrast mode. Drag and drop instructions. So can I give it a label like accessibility? Is there no accessibility label? All right, I won't worry about a label. New file, drag and drop low contrast. In the high contrast mode on Mac OS, Chrome browser, the instructions drop files here to upload. Actually, can I just get that from here? Drop files here to upload is not high contrast. And then now I'm going to drag this over here, preview it. Yep. Okay. Contrast tests. All right, I think that's good enough. Submit this issue. There we go. And I will reference this in the video's description. And I'm going to come back to here. And I am going to, all right, back. Okay. All right. All right, so now I can go here. Just like I did when I added a new bubble.js file, I'm going to go add file. And then here, instead of creating a new file, what I could do is actually drag a new file right in here, or I can click here to select a file. But I have my, where'd my kittens go? Shoot, I messed this up. I'll try this one more time. Too easily distracted, which is a bit of a problem sometimes. Okay, so I want to look for this little arrow here again and click add, hold on, yeah. So I want to look for that little arrow again and click add file, just like what I did before when I added a new JavaScript file like bubble.js. But now, instead of typing in a new file, I actually am just going to drag a file over here into this region. I could also click here, and it's going to open up a kind of like Finder thing. But I'm just going to come over here. I'm going to grab my kitten, this lovely little kitten. I'm going to drag it over here, and then it's going to upload. It is done, and we can see kitten2.jpg is now part of this project. You should realize, though, there is a limit. I can't remember if it's like 5 megabytes or 10 megabytes. You can't upload really big files to the web editor at present. Maybe in the future we'll figure out ways of managing the data so that you can. Okay, so now, just to finish this off, I said I want to have a variable called image, and that's the image where that's the variable where I want to load the file into. And then once I have that, I want to draw that image to the canvas. Of course, it's giving me an error now, cannot read property width of undefined. Cannot read property width of undefined, but because the image is not there. Okay, so I need to actually load the image. And then you might think like, okay, well, there's a load image function, so why not just use load image and in quotes reference the name of that JPEG? Well, this doesn't work because I cannot call P5 functions outside of setup or draw. It doesn't actually know what a P5 function is. So what I could do is then say, all right, well, image needs to be a global variable. And I'm over-explaining this, but I think it's worth sort of noting all this. So let me put load image in setup. And there, it worked. There's the image of the kitten. Why did this work, though? Weird. Let me run this again. Did you see how like the kitten wasn't there at first for like a little bit? Like what if I say here, no loop? The kitten doesn't appear, even though the kitten's being loaded in setup and then being drawn in draw. So one of the things you have to start getting used to is the asynchronous nature of JavaScript. And this will come more and more as you go into the videos about working with data and the DOM library. But when we ask to load an image, it's not going to be immediately ready. It takes some time for it to go and grab those pixels and load them into memory. But P5, and there's ways of using something called a callback, which I will get to in a future video. But the best way for you to do this right now is to use a function called preload. And preload is a special function. It's kind of like the prequel to setup. Setup is where everything begins, but before setup, we have preload. And what preload does is it is a place where you can load any media or data assets and make sure they are ready before setup and draw happen. So in this case, even with no loop, that kitten's always going to be there. And just incidentally, while we're here, we should note that, the image function drawing this particular image, which maybe I should be more clear about my variable naming and name it kitten. This is exactly like the rectangle function. I am drawing a rectangle at 0, 0. The only difference is I'm filling that rectangle with the pixels from that image. But I can do things like give it a width and a height. And you can see I've stretched the kitten. These could be variables. And you can see now and it's going to resize. It's just a rectangle. I could do things like say x and have a variable called x. And I could say, x++. And now the kitten is slowly moving. I could change the y value. So it's just another thing to draw that you can rotate and twist and color and turn and all that. And in the next video, if you are here, if you happen to be watching this as part of this playlist, what I'm actually going to show you in the next video, you can sort of see it in the thumbnail, is to make a whole bunch of objects that are images and animate them around the window. Okay? So I hope helped this clarify a little bit about using the P5 web editor with all these other surrounding videos. And if I didn't get it right here or you're confused, please let me know in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you in a future video. Okay, now I just want to look at something. I sort of think that also this, I doubt, is high contrast enough. Okay, so let's look at this. And now I want to go to, how did I do this? I go here. How did I get that picker again? Oh, here. And then I get the dropper. So I'm going to get the brightest part of the letter, and then the background color is picker here. Yeah, this also fails. wait, let me also file this. Where was I there? p5j.js, web editor. And now let me upload this one, and then I've got to go. All right, that looks good. Okay, I don't know what's being discussed in the chat. Oh, Sukso says there's a contrast test in the Chrome Developer Tools. That's right. There's a lot of accessibility testing in the Chrome Developer Tools. I don't know how to use that off the top of my head. What's disabled? I'm just curious. So I've got to go. That's really all I came on to do. I'm going to hit stop recording in case. I also like, is this going to crash? Are things going to crash? They didn't crash, which is lucky. And yeah, Mastodon bots. Oh, I'm just about ready to release the Lisa Zhu coding challenge video. I still don't have YouTube Premieres unlocked for my account. Did I mention that already? Yeah. I never do this like live streaming for like, this is literally under a half an hour, I think. No, 31 minutes and 20 seconds. And there are apparently 463 people watching. Do you have to log, Eitan asked, do you have to log in to use the uploading feature? Yes. You cannot save. Oh, Super Chat is disabled. That's interesting. I wonder if I disabled that or if it's just disabled on YouTube in general. Now I'm curious. Not that I really care. Advanced settings. Is the join disabled? Just curious. I didn't put slow mode on. Interesting. I don't know. Don't really care. But yeah, interesting. All right. Anybody have any questions they want to ask before I go? I'll play my new outro music. Thanks for watching today's episode of The Coding Train about the P5JS web editor. Actually, I do have a little curiosity thing. I would like anybody to test this for me. This is totally, please turn this off right now if you don't want to feel like someone's selling something to you. But I do have a new store that I've been kind of mentioning, Teespring, teespring.com/stores/coding train. Let's see how this is working. So these are some new t-shirts and things that I have available. Like for example, if I click on this one, which is one of my favorites, I'll refactor this later. You can get this in a few different styles or on a mug. There's like the onesie and the kids. There's supposed to be a women's style, a fitted shirt and a tank and a hoodie, but none of those have shown up. And also, it's supposed to be, like if I go here and you click, and I click buy it now, and I do not live in the United States, if I live in the EU, for example, I don't know what happens if you're in other countries besides the US or Europe, and I hit this, and I click add to cart, it should automatically figure out that I'm, through my IP address or account or whatever, that I am not a US person. When I go proceed to checkout, it's going to give me a nice, inexpensive in euros or pounds shipping price and not like $12 in US dollars because it's shipping from the US. Could you let me know if that, you don't have to buy it, just get to this step and let me know what shipping price you see. And then you can feel free to write to support at Teespring, which I will because I've been kind of asking all day to see if we can get that fixed. Okay, I want to mention that, and that's it. This dot. Later this week on Coding Train. Soon, this Friday at 11 a.m., I will have a guest, Nabil Hussain, who will be, very loud, who will be here to show you how to train a long short-term memory network. It's a neural network designed for sequences, and what he's going to do is use a text corpus, train the model, and then generate new text based on that corpus. It's going to run on the Spell platform, so check that out. Most recent upload is Yining's style transfer series, which is also using the Spell platform and TensorFlow and ML5JS. I did a bunch of videos on Mastodon yesterday. Where is... Oh, and coming out tomorrow morning, the Lisa Zhu Coding Challenge video. I'm just waiting for the captioning to be done. $12.50 shipping, $12 in Germany just shipping. Yeah, so this is not what it's supposed to be. So you can actually go to, Teespring stores. I think it's like the-coding train-EU. So this is a URL which will take you to a place where it would give you like EU shipping. Let's try this. I like this color maybe, do I? That's a little weird. See, it's also like it's the wrong colors, but whatever. Let's say I do this, and then I say I want the large, and I do this, and then I go to proceed to checkout. I don't understand. Now I got $4.99 for shipping for this one because it's from the EU store. It's supposed to like auto figure it out, but it doesn't seem to be working. So it's not working. I don't know why I don't know what to do about this. But if, anyway, but the stuff is there if you're so interested. But I haven't actually like officially launched it yet because I would like it to, I would like to have the fitted and tanks, and I would like it to figure out the shipping in a way that's not going to break the bank for people. Okay, any other questions? I know it's 5:42, I've really got to go. Let's finish my song. I'll be back on Friday morning at 11 a.m. with guest Nabil Hussain. Stay tuned for the Lisa Zhu Coding Challenge video. Make your Lisa Zhu patterns and all that stuff. And the coding train. No, singing is a very bad idea. Live control room. Yeah, this spring I want to do more reinforcement learning stuff when I do the Nature of Code class again. Build on top of that with TensorFlow.js. Goodbye, see you next week on Friday, or maybe tomorrow if I do another special by accident half-an-hour live stream.